Hello, hello, take two. This is Venus Callida, and I'm here with a new game show that we can play on Tuckin' and Chill nights. On Friday nights when we do Tuckin' and Chill, I want to play Venus Game Na. Now, I had some weird start, and the last time I thought I was streaming, which was 2 nights ago, and I streamed for an hour, and then it never recorded, it never took. And it's happened a couple of times this summer, and because when I came in just a few minutes ago, and I don't know if it was recording or not, it gave me this red disclaimer thing. That to me means it's not recording. So I just wanted to come back in and make sure that everything was working. Now, Fanros Fabros, Bounce and Fly Away, they may come in soon. I hope they do. And I'm hoping to see some new people lurking at least, because I sent this out. I've sent my little commercial out on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and YouTube and Facebook, and I'm hoping it drew some interest. But I've been playing around with my times because I'm just not sure. But I wanted to show you because I've always loved watching Vanna White, and she always looked good in her dress. So I found myself a sparkling dress. I put on my diamond heart. I of course have my little rings that I can stab with, and my just a little dagger. I just got stuffed down my boot if I need to. But you never know. A girl's got to be prepared, and kind of like Calamity Jane with the pockets and a big old Colt in her pocket in her wedding dress. A girl's got to be prepared. It's not usual that I wear a dress, and of course the slit is here so that I can run really, really fast and kick things if I need to. But I digress. But let me do what Vanna White does. So this is Venus Game Na. Do 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 do. See the knife? See my stabby finger rings? I had to do this. I originally was going to play this on full size, but then I wanted to show my accessories and my beautiful gown. Venus, game na. And okay, while we're waiting for people, we are going to look at how to play the game. Because if you're not from the Philippines, if you've never heard of this TV game show, you may not know what this is about. So let me show you how to play. I made this all today. I'm so proud of me for learning new things on computers. Okay, how to play Venus Game Na. Go to the main game board, which is slide number 2, and someone is going to choose a theme. So one of you, my precious mortal souls, you're going to pick the theme from the main game board. And then I'm going to reveal each question on each box based on whatever theme box you pick first. And then I will reveal the question. I will read it to you. And then the first one to get the right answer will get a point. You're going to have to write your answers in the chat box. I'm going to have to, of course, read your messages in the chat box window. I know. I'll be looking for it, though. I'll be looking for it. And then the first one to get the right answer gets the point. You're going to have to keep score of your points yourselves, to be honest with you. And then here we go back to the main menu. And you're going to pick another theme. And then we're going to, I guess the winner picks the theme. We can have a mercy rule of three times being the picker and then let someone else pick. And then I'll show you another question. I will read it to you, and you just keep on guessing. You just keep on guessing. Be as silly as you want. Who knows? You may know, you may not know any of this, but you may know. But it's based on me, the lore, the mythology, the Latin, and you, my subscribers, and little fun facts we may know about you that we've learned over this time. I debated some of the questions to use, but if you like this game, we enjoy playing it, you can suggest themes, and I have alternative questions for the same theme, so I can recopy this format and just plug in the holes, and we could play this again. We could play every other week. We could play, until we get bored of it. But I just thought it would be fun to make some games up and let's play them. And finally, the precious mortal soul with the highest number of points at the end of all the questions wins. I do have a tiebreaker, though, which is a lot of fun and a big wordy answer. But the rest of it, pretty manageable. So let's head back to the main menu. Bing! And let me just cross the board like Vanna White does. La 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 la. Venus, game na! All right. Nobody's here. I don't want to play it if nobody's here, so I want to wait for Fanros. So there's something else I was going to do while we wait to play this game. I'm going to hold on to it. Do you think Fanros said they thought they could come? So here's what I'm going to do while we're waiting. You're going to see some transitions here. Oh, we didn't want to do that. Oh, you can see the whole thing. Going back to the home page. Bing. Okay, it works really well when it's slide deck. Okay, so there are some different things I wanted to show you guys, and then I'm going to link the different web pages into the thing. So Federal Travelers Night, she doesn't want any spoilers, anything that I didn't already spoil earlier today. But I wanted to show some different websites that the Crush Crush Blush Blush universe from Sad Panda Games also has a Hush Hush. I am going to turn that into a video to show you guys some other time. Some clips from the demo part. It's actually really fun because you get to see the Crush Crush characters. And here's the thing. I wanted to show you guys this. Let me move out of the way here. So I'm going to credit. This is called Kiki Cakes. Okay, cake. Hang on. I don't have glasses, guys. I'm so sorry. I want to just credit Kiki Cakes, yeah. Because they were writing about it, and they showed me the thing that blew my mind. Now, because I know Fanrose already knows about this, then I don't feel bad to tell you. This is Beaverly, who we keep making fun of and questioning and watching from the Crush Crush Blush Blush universe, trying to attack the marshmallow, and Vox shoos her away, and then she shows up again and puts one of the animals into a tree. Well, this is Beaverly. She becomes a human. She can be human. She's in like a furry costume. Oh, and confirmation. If you're into furries, the animal side, the Blush Blush boys, that's for you. But she's part of their world. She drank that magic water too. And so she also is trying to turn back into a human. So this is her in her animal form. And let me just play a tiny clip. I don't know what the rules are, so it's going to be just a very tiny clip just to say thank you, Kiki Cakes, for your Crush Crush PC review of the Waifu Galore. Okay, let's just see this very quickly. Oh, it's already gone. It's already gone. But basically, if you go to this, it's to Kiki Cakes' channel. And look up Waifus Galore. She's going to name the archetypes from the different Japanese thingies. So that is something that I wanted to show you guys. Also, coming back over to the next one. Okay, so this is Annie Leonhardt. So it's like Lionheart, but Leonhardt. So Annie Leonhardt, thank you for your video. Basically, I wanted to show you guys. You guys know my screens with Bonnie Bell and Fumi, and beside them is Ayuko. But before Ayuko, Fanros Fabros kept talking about, so it's not a spoiler for them, Ayano. So there was an Ayano character, I guess, out there in the streaming universe who had some kind of deal with Sad Panda, and it ended, so they had to remake this character. But just to show you, here is Ayano, the precursor to Ayuka. Ayuka is as much as she's harsh on everybody, she's maybe more easy to like, they say, than this one. And right now she's talking about Cassie. Cassie's ponytails are gorgeous. Let's hope she doesn't get them tangled in a cat door and dragged for several miles. What? Into a car door and dragged for several miles. Looks like this one she's definitely got her own videos out there for just how gory she gets. So we thought Ayuka was bad at the school spirit thing. So I'm just going to show you. So this is from Annie Leonhardt about Ayano. And that's it. And that's the one she's making fun of. Cassie. All right. So that's all I could show you for that. And now we're going to go to the next one. I'm going to do all these little look-see-loos before we play Venus game now. Because here's the one that was the spoiler. Now, since I already spoiled it for Final Shab Bros, I just want to show you guys. There is one girl couple, two maids, but not from a Japanese cafe, the maid cafe. They're like from a hotel, I think. But they're two maids called Ginger and what's that hot stuff called? Wasabi. So ginger is, of course, the one in the orange, and wasabi is the one in the green. I thought that was funny. And so we're just going to see. So this is them coming into the world with Marshmallow. There's a big accident. Oh, no, they are in a maid cafe. And everything in the cafe starts breaking. So here's that little bit. Now this is from Annie Lanhart. Okay, here we go. Here they are. And they're both talking. So let me stop that for a second. So, don't feel bad. Oh, I'll just get a broom and have this swept up in a jiffy. And then Wasabi says, I don't think the same can be said of the pipe that just burst. Yikesies. But here they are. They come together under someone named Aurora. Under Myro. I think we've seen, I'm thinking there is a Myro I think we've seen. Yeah. Service with a smile is 100% guaranteed. You say that, but smiling-related injuries put thousands of maids out of work every year. What's happening with the maids? Anyways, they're kind of funny. But they're a pair. They're a duo that come together. So thank you, Annie Leonhardt, for showing us something we can look forward to. All right. Now, spoilers go. There's 2 to 3 more that I can show you today. Okay. So there's this. Kush. So this is from Bijou Mike. Bijou means jewel, I think in French, yeah? And he's saying crush, but there are only men in blush. So we know crush, and there are only men in the blush. And these are the first 2 girls we get in crush. Between the 2, as a baby, I think I looked more like Cassie, but then, say I hit 4 or 5 years old, I looked more like Mio over here, these 2. So I kind of look between them, except that I love blue hair. I love blue, so now I look like this, because I grew up, and I can have any hair color I want. So, well, let's see what Bijou Mike had to say. Now look at that. I'm stopping that right there. Hi, Bijou Mike, and thank you. I didn't know that you could get figurines of the characters. So this is Mio? Or Myro? Mio. This is Mio. I didn't know you could have figurines of these. So since Fenrose seemed to be interested in these 2, she definitely wants to get Desdemona. Fenrose, you're here. You're not late. I waited for you. Look, I'm just showing from Bijou Mike. I'm going to put the links to all of these people whose clips I showed. These are the figurines. I'm just going to play this. I just wanted you to know where the figurines, this guy got some. We're going to communicate with him to find out how he got them. But he's got a case of them. Look behind him very closely. He's got posters of them too. But okay, this is the boy world. But look at the posters very close behind. I think you can see one of your Demoness. But I'm just, I don't know how much of someone's video I can show, and we're not hearing the sound. But I think he's going to move and show us the case very soon. He's actually very funny. Look how he cuts. There it is. Okay, I'm closing that in. So these are the girls he has so far. He has Elle. I think that's Aika. And the girl next door girl, I think that's Samantha. But, not the Demoness. Not the Demoness. But he said they also have body pillows. I don't even know where to get this fanfare. But, yeah. So thank you, Bijou Mike, for that. And, Fenrose Fabros, are you ready to play with me? I know you might have to go on. Oh, look, and the chat stuff is coming up too. So, I'm a lady, but I've got on my spiky, naughty little rings. And I've got my little dagger, because women have to be prepared. But I'm wearing an evening gown, even with a black rose. And I'm showing off my silvery boots. So, are you ready to play Venus Game Na? So we're waiting just for you. And you and I can play. And then if you like it, I'll make another version for next week. Now let me just, I'm going to take the chat box off the game and I'll put it back later. Boom. It's gone. I'm so sorry. All right. But Venus game now. Okay. Here's how to play. So we're going to go to the main board on slide 2 and you're going to choose the theme. And then I'm going to reveal the question behind each box. And if you know the answer, write it in the chat box. The first one to get the answer right will get the point. Right now, it'll be my #1 fan. And then I'm going to show you another question. You're going to keep guessing. You're going to keep picking the topics. There's only one question for each theme tonight. And then the precious mortal soul with the highest number of points at the end of the game wins. And I do have a tiebreaker. Whichever board we can look, or I can save it for the next game. Because I think if you like this, menu, here we go. Game na. Do 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 do. La 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 la. What do you think, Fanros Fabros? Are you ready to play? Venus, game na. Let's go to the main leaderboard. Venus game na. Ooh, I better go over this way. La 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 la. There we go. In my lovely dress, my long silvery boots. Here we go. Venus game na. These are the categories of the questions for today's game: love lore, mythology, subscribers, backstory, sports, Latin, food. Oh my, H2O. Which category would you like to start with? I'll make sense. I feel like I've got this game show song in my head, and I know it's not the right one, but da 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 da. And also knowing that we did have a 10-second lag this morning, so I'm gonna wait for you to pick the subject. And I can see there are other viewers watching. If you're able to say hello and not shy, please go ahead. You can guess too. Anybody can pick the subject. Whatever you pick first is what I'm going to reveal. Oh, and until then, I am now drinking San Pellegrino mineral water. It's nice and cool and refreshing. So I'll drink to your other mind. Chin chin, everybody. Have a good health. That was very refreshing. Yay. Do, 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 do. Waiting, waiting, waiting. You gotta pick a subject. Which one will it be? I'll read them again. Love lore, mythology, subscribers, that's you guys, backstory, that's my backstory, sports, Latin, food, oh my, H2O. Oh, that's funny, I just had a drink. It is important to me to have clean, healthy water. It's not a good thing when you splash your face and your eyeballs burn. True story. It happened to me like 2 days ago. Oh, it's really bad. Oh no. Please pick a topic. Until then, I'm noticing that I should have made the black a darker black in the title bar, but that's okay. I can fix it for next time. I'll workshop it. This is our first test run of a game show. I made other games, like if you guys like crossword puzzles, word searches, challenges. If you check out my post feed in the community section, I know they took away our community tab, but in the community section, where I post all of my calendars. If you scroll down, in between the calendars, you're going to see times where I just I put a game in. Also, there was a bingo card one time. It's a bingo card. It's a type of bingo game where you can print the card and walk around the neighborhood and check things off as you go and see where you make your line first. Oh, there was also a Pilk challenge in there. How many versions of Pilk have you drank? I think my score was 7. I think out of 13 or 15. I can't remember how many kinds of Pilks there were, but yeah, there's quite a lot actually out there. That's not from a cow. Or any animal. Okay, so I'm thinking that Fanrose came online and then had to step away. And I don't know who else is here today. I don't know if that's Dark Alice, maybe. So I just don't want to play this game out if no one's here to play. So I'm going to just put it on hold for the moment. And no, I don't want to show that yet. And I'm going to show the other Crush things that I found while we wait for them to be ready. Okay. Now, risque stuff. Basically, this is someone named Bring Stubbly. And this guy actually goes through quite detailed the difference between the lack of censorship, like comparatively on the YouTube side versus if you're looking on your phone. Mobile phones always have these characters more covered up with like bralettes and stuff underneath their pieces. But Lake specifically, they did a whole thing on Lake. Because we know she's pretty bold and likes to be free of her clothing. And so you get like side boobage a lot on the YouTube side as compared. So this is a date with Lake. Lovely vacation on the lake with Lake. This took him 51 weeks into the game. So almost a full year before he got to this point in the game. So let's have a quick look with just a few seconds of this. We can't hear what he's saying, but he's basically pointing out that when you watch with the mobile game, when you play this game, on the phone, you're always going to see her in a bra. So it's like a censorship issue. And then in the YouTube side, there's no bra. And I didn't know there would be like 2 different versions to see depending on how you're interfacing with the game. No idea about that. And I wonder, that's a lot more work for the artists or the designers of the game. So why? Why not just have her wear a shirt? But here she is in the game with her very long ponytail. And I think it's confirmed that she's like a California girl. I don't know if I was saying that about her. I thought someone came from California. But, yeah. And they're just showing different things that she's saying. She likes glitter on everything. So she's got a lot of conversation. I don't know what these lightning bolts are, so definitely further along into the game than I've ever been. But yeah, that was Lake. Oh, she's changed position. Oh, okay. So she's covered in sand. So I don't know if that will get me in trouble. So, but thank you, Mr. Stubbly, because that was an interesting. So there's an actual a version of dating Peanut out there, and Vox for sure. That if you don't have the money to play those phone conversations from the special bundles, you can definitely find some of them out there. I'm just so surprised. I'm always like at the tail end of discovering things out there that I like. Have been out there for a while and I had no idea. No idea at all. So here's the last one I collected in my research I did yesterday. And shared today, spilled the beans with Fanrose earlier today. And these are all the links. I'm going to put those links into the show episode when it's done. And let's go back to our game screen. I'm ready. I need to know if you guys are ready. Fanrose Fabros, are you still there? Because I've got a few viewers, but you were the only one that checked in. And I don't know what's happening because I haven't seen you pick a category yet. So let's go. Game na. Boom. These are the question categories. Oh. Do 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 do. I'm gonna walk over this way. Oh, you're here. Okay, can you please pick a category? Oh. No, I noticed. Okay, so Can you please pick a category? What theme would you like to answer first? I feel like Vanna White. Vanna White always looked great in a dress. Let's say. I never really liked her in pants. I don't know why. Mythology. Here we go. Oh, clicking on me. Oh, wait, back. Hey. Oh no. I didn't link these ones. Okay. Don't look. No. Dang it. I made a mistake, but okay, I'll workshop it for next time. Okay, mythology. Which Italian city was named in honor of the goddess Venus? I forgot to link the questions to their pages. I'm so sorry. What would you guess? Hopefully you didn't see that. I'll just cross over this way while you're thinking. Here we go. Reveal the answer. Venice, the floating city, fitting as she was said to have been born from sea foam atop a clamshell. Yay! Okay. Fanrose, you get a point. Going back. Bing! I did that part right. So sorry. It's going to be a bit messy. I'm going to have to tell you to close your eyes. What would be your next category? Do. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Anybody can call out. What category would you like to see next? One point for you. Yes. Oh my. Okay, let's do it. So close your eyes now, and I'll tell you when to open your eyes, because I forgot. Oh my. Oh, shoot. I didn't want you. I'm so sorry. I messed up. I forgot to link the. Oh, man. Okay, you can open your eyes. Hopefully, you really did have your eyes closed. So here's the question. Well, guildies know this about Venus, and they caught a hacker with this knowledge one time. What does Venus wear when gaming or live streaming? It's even true today. I didn't even plan it. It's just my nature. What am I wearing? La 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 la. La 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 la. No. Like, I mean, what am I physically wearing when I game? Do you give in? Take a shot. What am I wearing in front of this microphone right now? It's not an evening gown. It's not armor, don't make me frown. Only in my avatar wears the armor. She gets all the nice clothes. I'm in my house where nobody sees me. Guess I'm not wearing any clothes. Venus usually wears her birthday suit. Tee-hee. That's a true story. It's hot in here. It's hot. Okay, so 1 point for you, 1 point for me. Here we go. And please pick the next category. La 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 la. La 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 la. La la la. My guild, they once asked someone who had hacked me, and we figured out they hacked me like right after I logged out. I don't know how it happened. And so they were asking what they were wearing, and when they said the color of a shirt, they're like, "We know you're not her." And we all reported. Backstory. Okay, close your eyes, please, because I forgot to link these. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm going really fast. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 7. Hang on. Backstory. You can open your eyes now. All right, backstory. How did Venus Callida come to be a Death Knight? Now, you probably haven't seen my debut, but there is actually a debut episode which, as best as I could, showed illustrations of it. But again, I can't draw like you guys can draw, so anyways. Eyes closed, eyes open. All right, so how did Venus Callida come to be a Death Knight? This is part of my backstory from my debut. How I came to be as I am now. But also, if you're not sure, but you played World of Warcraft, what is the backstory of the typical Death Knight? How did they come to be Death Knights? What happened? What's their lore? Because I originally was a gamer, so Venus Callida was my name as a guildmaster and Death Knight in the game of World of Warcraft. So I went through that whole opening backstory. I'm gonna go. I want to cry. I love being Vanna White. Interesting. Okay, we're going to interpret this one. Real answer. During a violent conscription event where teens were forcibly taken from their homes to meet the state's need for soldiers, upon her first mortal death as a foot soldier, she was resurrected by the state and retrained, aka brainwashed, to continue to serve the state's war machine. So, you know what? I'm going to accept your answer, fighting through bloods and guts. The vowing to help the weak was after I regained control of my own mind, remembered enough of myself to get out of there and not be a puppet for the state. And just to explain too, I put that little asterisk. So the elves, the blood elves and the night elves being alliance, blood elves being the horde, we weren't going to be part of the horde, but we got cut off from our enemies. They killed everything between the northern part of the continent and us. We were at the top of the continent, so north and south were cut off, and by the plague and by the death and making of the undead with all those plague machines and vials and potions and what have you, the plague bombs. And so either we joined forces with the horde or we would have all been killed off. The other problem is that elves, as they live for hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years, so nearly immortal but they are mortal. They can die. They don't have a lot of children. It's part of their metabolisms. Because they live for so long, I guess that's nature. You can't overpopulate, right? If you live so long, you can't have that many children repopulating, So because they didn't have enough people to conscript, they had to take the children because the adults were basically dead. And so you were ripped from your homes, and they kept reanimating you training you, so like brainwashing you so you don't know who you are. And often in the training process, if you pay attention to the WoW universe, they make you kill someone from your own family because they're testing to see if you remember enough of yourself and them. Then they kill you and resurrect you again. So they mess with your brain, you know? And so for someone like Sylvanas, my queen, the elven queen who got a hold of her own self, her own mind, and like reanimated her body by like possessing her own body to walk it around and stuff. But then she could leave her body and possess someone else to make them do horrible things like slit their own throats and then leave their bodies and get back into her own again. She had that willpower. So I have that willpower, but it took time for me to get that. And so that's why when I talk about the mortal souls and in my in some of my early stories, which I haven't finished with, I barely touched on the Brave Immortal Soul series that I had originally planned. But in it, like whenever you're out of your body, just like in the video game, you're like a ghost that has to do that death drag, and you have to find your body and get back in. So in my stories, I'm doing that when I find you, the viewer, or Msoul, like that's somebody else who's like out of body, but they can get back in. So like we have chances. And in the real world too, everything I do is double entendre, because in the real world, I have passed and been brought back, only for a few seconds, but I've gone and come back. And so like you can get back in and then have a life again, but will it be your life? And that's why I'm dedicated to helping people to get well, because, and also, so the game too is like Death Knight, undead, dead, alive, but you're here, so you're alive, anyways, and I play with that in my guild name as well, because, anyways, you'll learn more about that. Anyways, I talk too much, but that's all in the backstory and the lore. It's like a pretty rich lore. Yeah. I've had quite a life, I've realized today. Having quite a life, and I'm not wasting it. But that's why because I know what it's like to have things not be in your control, but like take that control, or have things, not go your way and then having to rebuild. I know all that. And I know what it is to, go through different medical stuff and trying to make yourself stronger. So I want to help. Yeah. All my organs went into cascade failure and shock, if not failing shocking, or what do you call it? When they collapse, some of them were partially or fully collapsed. What I could live without, we took out, and what I had to, they put stents in. And so I was in the hospital for 3 months one time. But, and you're going to learn more about that through some of this too. But yeah, shocker stuff. So it's like, I've been through a lot of stuff. And now I've never been in a war zone. However, I've lived in places where the building next door has been bombed. That was in Europe, not here. But I'm blessed to be in the safest country in the world so far right now, to be in a peaceful country. But I'm very sad for all the harm humans do. Not necessarily, but I'm here for helping everybody to say, like, I know, so I'm not going through what you're going through, but I know a lot of stuff that sucks, and pulling yourself out of it and fighting to keep your body alive and healthy as you can. And the food and the drinks we intake have everything to do with it. And if you're going to sit in front of a computer for a few hours, that's when I break out the healthy foods and drinks. And that's why I'm, to encourage that we can still, there's things we can do, and there's things within our power, and we can do it. Yeah. All right. Are you ready to pick another theme? I talk a lot, but this is like a fun little game to get to know more stuff. See, I'm not boring. There's always something more to talk about. So we've done 3 of them. What have we done? Mythology, oh my, and backstory. Are you sorry yet? Can we keep playing? Oh, I gave you that. So it's 2 for you, 1 for me. 2 points for Fanros Fabros, 1 point for Venus. Game na. Thank you so much. It's kind of in my write-up. Certain YouTube lets us write a little more than other platforms do about our backstory. But yeah, it's kind of part of where it comes from. And I'm drinking cold mineral water. I love water when it's cold. I just love it. Okay. Subscribers. Okay, this is a question about subscribers in this channel. Okay, you ready to close your eyes? Let me see. 2, 4, 5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm getting better at this. You can look. You can look now. Okay. Which subscriber was the first to talk to Venus Callida in the chat space during a live show in her first year of VTubing? Who was my very first subscriber to talk to me in a live show in the chat space? They're not here today. But they were the first one. They were my hope. That's why I didn't quit. In my first year, someone started to talk to me. It was a big deal to me. So I'm always thankful for that. They do show up in my door games a lot of the time. It was not. Ooh, we're tied. Okay, I'm going to reveal the answer. Hey. Okay. Oh, I made a mistake. Okay, it's Hero Flame. I must have copied and pasted some stuff. That might happen again. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hero Flame. So usually when I show Hero Flame, I show someone running with like an Olympic torch. So that's kind of how I envision them. So, yeah. Hero Flame was the very first to ever talk to me. Not the very first subscriber. My very first subscriber was Magnus. But Hero Flame was the very first to talk to me online. Because Magnus reads my stuff. And I'll email them stuff, and then they'll look at it, and they used to give me a lot of suggestions, like in the beginning, but Hero Flame would talk. I'm so sorry. I have a feeling I must have like fallen asleep or something or gotten busy. I did have to stop and do something. I may not have written all the answers, but I know the answers. I hope I put the rest of them in properly. I thought I wrote, oh, I know where it is. I'm thinking of a different one. Okay, there's another question here that has to do with guildies too. Or you guys. So no, it's Hero Flame. The first to talk to me in a live chat was Hero Flame. My hero. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. So we're tied 2 for 2. Oh, I hate that I made a mistake in my first game. But if you like this game, I will change out the questions. And if you'd like to suggest different themes for the questions, I can change that out too. I'll just make a copy of this because I figured it out today and I really like it. I'd like to play games with you guys. There's other versions of games, but this was the fastest one I could think to do. Plus, it lets you know that there's a game show out there from the Philippines that inspired this. Game Na. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Love Lore. If you haven't already seen the answer, I'm going to read from Love Lore. Oh, wait. You want H2O? Never mind. A request has come in. We're going to go to H2O. Okay, this is the very last one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, you've got to close your eyes now. So sorry. H2O. Okay, you can open your eyes. Actually, this is fitting. I'm going to drink to you right now. Why does Venus make a big deal about toasting her audience with a glass of water? I'm going to do it right now. Can you hear it? I'm going to chug the last of my mineral water. A little left. I'll leave a little left for one more swig later. All right. Why does Venus make a big deal about toasting her audience with a glass of water? This is actually very on purpose. This is very on purpose. It links to why I do what I do. Why I'm here. Other than looking good in dresses. But why? Why do I toast your heart and mind? A family friendship ritual? You're a very gentle, kind-hearted, warm soul. No. But I'm going to give you another guess. Why am I doing it? But, it is like a nice friendship ritual to bind me with you guys, because you can do it with me from the other side. So I like that. I'll take that on. There's another reason why I do it. But I like that. You know what? I'm going to give you a half a point there, so we're still tied. We each get a point. Because you know what? I am doing that to have a ritual with you guys. But there's more of a detailed reason. Do you want to take another guess? Kind of relates back to something else I told you recently in this game. Okay, I'm going to show it to you. Okay. Venus, has legit, in real life, almost died 3 times, I'm not joking, from poisoned water living in remote communities across northern Canada. Whenever you see people that are petitioning or lobbying our parliament buildings in Toronto or Ottawa, they're coming in from First Nation reserves, Métis reserves, Inuit communities that are saying we don't have water. It is a very real thing. That the water's poisoned with PCBs, with mercury, things left behind by the logging industry days or nuclear dumping grounds for their waste in places where they thought no people would live, and now people do. It's a very scary thing. That's very real. So when the Americans are saying, Canada's got the water, give us the water, there's a lot of beautiful postcard-worthy pictures of places I've lived in northern Canada that are beautiful, but they do not boat in the water. They do not go to the beach beside the water to be like they're at a beach. They do not swim in it. They do not fish in it, and there's no fish in it because they're dead. And you have to get permission from other neighboring communities. Can we fish or hunt in your part of the land? Sometimes they have to say no because they don't want to make extinct the fish and stuff in that area, and the animals just have to deal or die. So having safe drinking water is a blessing to me, and that's why it sucks that the building I live in now that I'm down in what I consider like a city in the south of Canada, where you would think they've got the money and the people and the manpower and the pools of money coming in to have clean water, that this building has such an old system that it's yellow and brown and orange, and I will not drink it. I will not prep my food in it. I'm scared to wash my dishes in it. I use bleach and things, and I buy a lot of my water. And I never thought that I would spend money to buy bottled water, because I grew up in a city where you could drink from the hose and dunk yourself in a rain barrel. Now people can't do these things. So to have fresh, clean water where I don't have to worry about burning my internal organs, killing myself, infesting myself, poisoning myself, I'm lucky to be here. So to have that clean water, and some of our subscribers live in places where it's not easy to get clean water. There's places in the world that it is not, you just can't just turn on a tap and trust it. I lived in places where you couldn't even bathe in the water. It would burn you or infest you. So water treatment plants are an important thing. You have to know that people are running it properly. Yeah. So that's why I do it. Yeah. Oh, you're kidding. See, yeah. And the Don Valley, for my whole lifetime, nothing was living in it. It was so polluted, it was brown. And they've been working on it my whole lifetime to now say fish are starting to come back into that water. My whole lifetime trying to clean that. One tributary to Lake Ontario. Yeah. That's so unfortunate. And there are places in the world, I know, kayaking, the lava flows around Hawaii. It used to be turquoise water, now it's brown. Brown like our Ontario water. So it's very, so that's why I do the toast. Like I promised myself before I started this, if I was going to sit down, because I'm an outdoor person, I'm going to sit down and do streaming, and this is going to, and make shows. It's going to be more sitting than I've ever done. That I'm not going to eat the junk food. I'm not going to sit here with potato chips and popsicles and pop and chocolate bars. And I've mostly kept to that. But always to have water here, or I'm doing flavored waters, bubbly waters, but water, things with low to no sodium, low to no sugar, you know. And I'm keeping to that so that I don't make my health worse, that I'm at least doing things that make it better, like food as medicine. Okay, no problem. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to pop this back. Lots of info today. And I'm going to show my gown one more time. Do, do, do. Never mind the dagger. That's just in case someone intrudes on our day. I have to be prepared. I don't have any pockets in this dress. La la la. I love my ring. And my knuckle ring. Yeah, I'm liking it. Okay, so we're actually tied right now. So we've done, did we do, no we didn't. Mythology, subscribers, backstory, H2O, and oh my. So we've done 5. We need, okay, so the things we haven't done: love, lore, food, sports, and Latin. 6, 9, yeah, 9 things. Oh, so we only have 4. And then if we need a tiebreaker, there's a tiebreaker. It's not fair for me to play the tiebreaker because I wrote it, and I probably wrote too much. I probably said a lot of it already, so that's okay. I just like seeing the flash of my very tall, long silver boots. My rings and my daggers. All right. Yep, I'm liking that. So what should we do? I'm so sorry that I forgot to type the proper answer. I forgot that I copy and pasted across the bottoms and then I didn't go back. I just got distracted. I've had meetings today. I'll have them tomorrow too. Dang. Okay, I'm going to pick one. All right. Welcome back. You have arrived. Food. Yes. Okay. So many people love food. Now, there were so many different questions I wanted to ask for food. Okay, you're going to have to close your eyes. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Ready? Food. Can you name at least one dish featured, oh no, on Venus's very first Riddle Me Din Din episode? I'm so sorry. So this is the one I forgot to go and fill in. I'm so sorry about that. Man. So I'm not even going to hit reveal answer because I already know it doesn't say the answer behind it, but what does it include? When I first did these episodes, just as a hint, I actually traveled to the countries that my subscribers were from because I do know a lot about my very first subscribers, being as they were people who talked me into doing this in the first place. I'm going to do something really fast. Don't look. Okay, I'm putting it over here. Hang on. I'm going to let you think about it. And I'm going to check. Okay. And okay. Okay, I got it. Um, hmm. Okay, so the clicking you're hearing is I'm just checking for the answer. I'm so sorry I botched this up. But we're getting there. And I think I know the answer. I'm just going to make double sure. I'm going to check my facts. Oh, wow. I made a lot of episodes, eh? It's just not letting me head straight to the back right away. I have to make it go. I have to work it there. Okay, I know how to make this bigger. We're almost there. I'm almost there. Okay. Okay, hang on. Okay, I found it. I found it. Huh. You know, before I did Riddle Me Din Din, I was doing timers that had everything to do with the perfect time to do different kinds of eggs and stuff. So if you check out my timers. But my very first Riddle Me Din Din was April 4th, 2023. And I was in an army kitchen. I know why, because some of my subscribers are my guildies friends, and they were actually in the military. Okay. And, okay, we can't hear it. Yeah. Okay. I got it. I got it. Can you hear me? Okay. So before I did Riddle Me Din Din, I was making timers. This was before I had this avatar. And the timers were a lot about how to make the perfect bacon, depending on what consistency of bacon you wanted, from the floppy, sloppy stuff to the slightly crispy, stiff to the very crunchy. And then the other timers were about eggs. So soft boiled, hard boiled, and all that. Scotch egg, which timer, and the timers would tell you what they could be used for. And like you could use it as soft timers in general, but these were to amuse the audience because until I could get an avatar going, bacon and eggs and breads and stuff. Yeah, they were breakfast meals, breakfast for dinner. So, yeah, eggs and bacon, which is good at any time of day. So we're sending that back. Game now. Okay, so I'm sorry about that mess up. So we have 3 left. Love, lore, sports, and Latin. Oh, something shifted in my game there. So yes, I'm gonna go this way. Oh, which question? Oh, you want another backstory question? I only had one there. So we have sports, Latin, and love lore. But Latin would link into the backstory-ish stuff. So let's go Latin. You're going to have to close your eyes. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What does Venus Callida's name mean? Also, there's a meaning in her guild name, too. And a meaning in the guild shield, too. I have meaning. I'm a symbol person. But anyways, you're going to get the long-winded answer, too. But what would you think it means? Why did I pick that? La, la, la. I'm blue like the color of my planet. Blue is the color of my hair. I'm so lovely. Why Venus Callida? I'm gonna stand like this. La 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 la. I'm gonna show off my flowing skirts. Hello, Vanna White. I feel like Vanna White today with my lovely dress. Okay. It is interesting. All right. I will reveal the answer. This part works at least. Sly beauty. It actually was a gambling term, like a sly gambler, a sly successful gambler, but a beauteous one. So sly beauty. Callida is sly and clever, often associated with a clever or sly gambler. Venus is beauty, fertility, and victory, which makes her different from Aphrodite because Venus in the Roman world also had to do with winning in a war as much as the other things. And she was actually a part of rituals that had to do with marriages. Goddess of love, both mutual and unrequited, because she had two sides to herself. And being a Frost Death Knight, you only gamble your own life if you face her in a battle. And I was thinking of the character of Finch in Dr. Frederick's story that I'm going to be reading to you soon. And she cannot have children because she's a Death Knight. But she protects families and the outnumbered. And true story, part of this, my attitude. I was a little kid, and I was always one of the smallest in the school. I was always in the front row of any picture. The second smallest in our high school. And so me and my friend, when they made an extension, we actually snuck into the school when workmen were working on a Saturday and they weren't looking. We snuck in to find out if we could be stuffed into the lockers on that side because the older area had smaller, skinnier lockers, so we were kind of safe there. And when we determined we could fit in fully in there, we determined we were never going to walk through that new hallway. Thank you so much for that. And so, but when anybody picked on a little kid, I hated it. And I would always get in between. And I would just stand up to the bullies, even though they were bigger than me. But I was like a muscular kid. I mean, I was going to call myself chonky, but not. Muscular. I was very strong for my size. I still am. I carry a lot of muscle. And that's why I wanted my avatar to also have muscular legs because I have a lot of powerful legs. And I just was not fearful. I was angry that they would be so mean. I was angry that little tiny kids would be beat up by someone bigger than them. Never mind that they were outnumbered. The bullies were never alone. And I got a reputation real fast. People got out of my way when I started high school. So the people I went to grade school with they spread the word before people met me. People got out of my way. I was never mean. But also too, as I got older in high school, if there was someone doing something stupid and they ran to hide behind me, then they're getting me into a problem. I didn't respect that. I would tell them what for. But I never hurt people. But I can't be the bystander who pretends I'm not seeing something bad that's happening. Me and my bestie, and I'm going to tell you, Tishy Adams is one of my besties. We've literally walked in a club between a guy that had a girl by the throat and got between them and got the security guards to get rid of him and fed her and sent her home. And we can't stand abuse. and we've always stood up to it. We haven't been the cowarding. I'm not going to look away and pretend I don't notice. I don't do that to people. People have done that to me when I've called out for help. I will never do that to people. I don't leave people in the lurch. But I don't help people that will keep making a problem for themselves. If you get them out of something, they shouldn't go walking back into it again. So, but that is my real nature. I don't like it when people get outnumbered. And it's hard in this world. It's hard to find real friends, good friends, people that don't hurt you. To stay healthy, some people need to be by themselves and protect that until they can find a good person. If you can't find it, don't just get yourself in a situation where you could be hurt worse. That's just me. So as lovely and dangerous as the planet, not a plant, the planet that I'm named for. Man, I spelled it wrong. Oh, I messed up all over. We can laugh at me for not being perfect. Yeah, I hate bullies. I hate bullies. I've always stood up to it. And I don't even know as an adult, people that are adults, they stonewall you, they gaslight you, and they distract every time you try to make a point. And it's so frustrating, and it's so belittling, and it's so degrading. It's like cuts people down and makes people doubt their own minds, and I won't let people do that to me. I won't let people, I know when they're doing it, and I won't let them do that to me. And people don't like me for that. And that's why I'm here streaming with you guys instead of out there where people are just jerks. I want to be in here with you guys and hope that you're not jerks and people aren't being jerks to you. I just hope we can have a lovely life. And so, not the plant, but, well, there is the Venus flytrap. But no, I meant the planet, because the planet Venus was named after the goddess Venus because it was blue, a pretty blue ball, the morning star, the evening star, that's all the planet Venus. And back in the ancient days, they saw it very well lit up in the sky all the time. I see Venus and sometimes Mars around the moon, Venus more so. So it's out there, and you can see why that the ancient people, with the technologies they had, just looked up and saw this beautiful blue marble in the sky. But we know nowadays that blue is not a sea, it is lightning, because that is one gaseous planet on fire. So lovely and dangerous at the same time. Me, my death knight, my planet. But yeah, like if my WoW character, my Frost Death Knight, could talk, she'd be like, well, I'm the one that, I mean, even if you kill me in a battle, I am still going to be here. I'm still going to resurrect. So, like, why are you fighting me? You're dumb. Okay, I'll fight with you. So I'll gamble. I'm only gambling your life, not mine. Like, I'm already gone. I'm still here, kind of thing. You know. But in my, you know, in the backstory lore, that she got enough of her sense of self back, fought through the amnesia to know she knows she has amnesia, but she does remember who she is to herself, and took back her body and took back her purpose for this world. If she's here, some things suck in life, but you're going to keep going forward. You don't give up on yourself. I really stand for that, and that's why, although I haven't done a lot of it lately, how I came out of the gate in YouTubing was a lot of the self-care videos, DIY projects for self-care, do it yourself, because, you know, we don't have a lot of money. Maybe we have health issues and we need things to be natural. You got to do it yourself. Like, you got to take that time, and it's worth it. It's worth it. You're worth it to do it. And I know we all get bogged down with different stuff, but we've got to take the time for ourselves to care for ourselves so that our bodies don't get to the point of collapsing because it's so tired, you know, and overworked and overworried and all that stuff. And I'm hoping that by being here, people can hang out with me. You know, you don't have to feel lonely. I'm around. That's why I started doing Tuckin' and Chill nights. And yeah, so that's my backstory for that. And the plant too. Venus flytrap. Lots of kids are fascinated with the Venus flytrap because they want to put flies in there and see what happens. Oh, the main game board. We have, what do we have left? Sports. Ow, and love lore. Ooh, I'm getting cramps. Yeah. So I actually asked a similar question to someone. So when I had to get offline with you earlier and I had a meeting, it was an hour long meeting, and the person I was talking to is a very smart person, very great in their field. They actually have two fields. They left one field and went into another, but they're very, very smart. And the thing they do now with their life actually is helped by the first thing they did in their life, right? It informs what they do now, but they're very smart. And I was like, I don't understand how to deal with or protect myself from the people that, like, you get a group, I'm going to say women, but, there could be jerk men out there too, but there's groups of women that are always together, and they were the bullies in high school who made you feel small because you didn't have whatever they identified with as cool, or the right clothes, or the boyfriend, or whatever, and they made people feel bad, and that was fun for them. And then they get into the business world, and they're still destroying. They're picking out a person on staff, any new person, to make them feel bad and bully them and sabotage them until they can't take it anymore and they snap or quit, because there's nothing else you can do, because they're never going to stop, because to them that's their fun. How miserable do you have to be that's your fun? But that is the legit fun for some people, to be those kind of a-holes that set out to destroy other people's lives just because they can. Like, I really hate it. And I find HR doesn't put a stop to that. Love lore. We just did Latin. So we only have sports and love lore left. Love lore. Can you name 2 subscribers from this community that are actually married in real life? I think one of them has talked to you before in the chat channel. And I can give a hint that they tend to show up in my door games. And they were also the characters I put in the audience for my Riddle Me Din Din Project Runway inspired cooking shows. They were there. Who do you think it might be? Dum 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 dum. I forgot to cross. I wanna walk across. I love showing my dress. La la la. I even have a black rose on the one side so my gloves make sense. La 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 la. Okay, if Copper Kaiju's married, I don't know. That I don't know. Do you want to take another guess? I think it's someone you have talked to in the past. I think they've been here before. They haven't been around lately, but when you first were coming in, I think they've been around. And if you can, I don't know if you can remember the characters in the Project Runway audiences for my cooking shows with Project Runway inspired episodes. I put their character icons in the audience every time. I'll let you take one more guess, and then I'll tell you. And welcome other viewers. If you would like to shout out and join in, if you know, can you name 2 subscribers from this community that are actually married in real life? Anybody? I wish I could flash back and show you pictures. Can I reveal answer? Or do you want to guess again? Paladin stem? Okay. Boom. Tishy, Adams, and Bunny. They really are a married couple. That's why they're always together in my door games and stuff when there's a little rabbit with a top hat. Because when they got married, I'm going to tell this cool story. They got married on Halloween. And they talked the priest. Since he wore a black robe anyways, he was the Queen of Hearts. He put a heart on his chest. And she was like a gothic Alice in Wonderland, and he really wore prosthetics in a real tuxedo with a real tuxedo hat for his wedding, with a real nice pocket watch, with the prosthetics so that he looked like a bunny on his face and ears. I was the magic mushroom, because everyone likes a mushroom at a party. But we were all very gothic. Uh, and it was the coolest wedding I ever went to. But they really are. So I always show a rabbit with a top hat to be Bunny. That's your real like nickname for him. Um, and they're just really cute. Yeah. Yeah, they are. And the other one is Pumpkin and Magnus. Pumpkin, I haven't used as much indoor games as he's not around as much now. But before I actually went online, they were the two that I was reading scripts to and showing them my original ideas. Something Pumpkin said is why I came up with the timers because I needed something that had movement. Magnus has given me so much great advice for different things, like told me about public domain stories and music and stuff, so that I wouldn't get nabbed with copyrights and things. And they gave me lots of feedback because originally I didn't have this avatar, and while I was rounding up the money and finding artists to do it, because that was a bit hard to do actually, find someone who would follow through. So Pumpkin and Magnus are the very first couple that were in, and Tishy Adams and Bunny were the second couple, really like near the beginning of everything. And although they weren't talking to me in the chat space online, Hero Flame was the first to talk to me in chat space online, but these two couples actually were behind supporting me when I wanted to do this. Now there are others here, but only one of couples that I gamed with are here, for example, but there are lots of couples in my guild. My guild was a place where people met up and ended up marrying each other or dating each other or living with each other. It was just the couple zones. I was the only one that didn't meet anybody. I was busy guiding everybody as the GM, telling them what to do and raid and stuff. So I guess that's the way it goes. But I've hooked up a lot of people. Yeah, so this was fun. But yeah, we have real couples here. Some don't talk. There are other couples, but they want to be private, so I'm not naming them. But the ones I won't mind, I'm naming them. I just thought that would be fun. Okay, this leaves us with just one category left. Yeah, and it's sports. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, you gotta close your eyes. All right, now this one you can answer about yourself because I may not know, and it will count. Can you name at least 2 sports that Venus and her subscribers are playing when not online? There's a whole bunch. I only listed a couple things I could think of, but there's lots. I know. But some of us have actually talked about it. What are we doing when we're not here talking to each other, hanging out online? When we're actually off our butts and in the environment outside, which is 3-dimensional. The corporeal forms, pulling our souls along with it. What are we doing? What do? You can, what's true for you can count too. We were having Dr. Frederick and I were talking about it. Was it last night even? Or the night before? No, last night. Yeah, he was talking to us about one of them. I actually grew up playing hardball and softball. I did play softball too. Rugby. I was actually an official member of one of my school's women's football team, and I helped the guys have a football team, which brought in a cheerleading squad because they came to watch me, not the boys, because I was the only girl in it, in order to have a team, because they knew me from hockey, ice hockey. And the school wouldn't let us have a football team because they didn't want to buy the equipment. So we all put on our hockey gear and our running shoes and went out there to play. And the girls, finding out that I was out there doing it, who I knew through, they were in the figure skating side of the arena while I was playing hockey on the other side, but we had the same change rooms. They came out to support me. Not the guys, me. So, and then they ended up staying an official cheerleading team for our high school. But it started because they came out to support me in playing football with the guys. And yeah, and then there was a women's team that came up, but by then I had a job too. So I was an official member of the team that I would come to any kind of tournament or practice so they could practice with different people. Although I wasn't on the team going to the games on a regular basis because I couldn't commit to that because of my job. Also, I'll tell you this. So Venus, Magnus, Tishy Adams, and Bunny love swimming. We all go swimming together. Magnus and I also played baseball and soccer together and road hockey together. Dr. Frederick, he loves historical fencing. He's brought back like sword play. Lemon 8, who you may not have seen here, but is one of the subscribers here that actually was in WoW with me and told me to do this. And he's a marathon runner, legit. All across the country, both sides of the country. I met him over in New York one time, and he's ran in Buffalo, and so I can drive to Niagara Falls, we hope one day, to meet over the bridge. Yay! Iron Fist and Dark Alice, they love throwing axes. I wanted to throw axes, but I thought I would have a better feel for it. It's not my talent, but darts, look out. I don't know if you count that, but because of my baseball arm, I throw a mean dart. And what do you do? What do you do? Also, I don't know if you count swimming, love swimming. I used to do gymnastics on the balance beam and the horse and the uneven bars. I don't think they do uneven bars anymore, but I was good at it. I didn't like tumbling. Tumbling made me fear I would break my neck. And ironically, being up in the air on bars, flipping myself around, I felt perfectly fine. I can't explain why. Can't explain why at all. I think because it felt like diving. To dismount and land was like diving for me. That felt more comfortable. I don't know why. I think rugby, you have to be so fit. It's awesome. Oh, you know what? And I did roller derby. We didn't play the version you see in the 1970s movies. Nobody was hitting each other and elbowing each other. But I was a jammer. I don't know if that counts. But that was the greatest thing for my legs, was skating. Yeah. There's a lot. I say go for it. Have fun. Do you want to see the tiebreaker question? Or have I questioned you out? Ooh, we've been at this for an hour and almost a half. I just want to walk across the field one more time. I feel like Vanna White. Do, 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 do. Bing, 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 bing. Do, do, do. I love my boot flashing through the skirt. The big slit in my skirt. Fashion can be wonderful. I like this dress. I want to use it a couple of times. All right, here we go. We're going to see tiebreaker, and I think I didn't. Oh my goodness, I did link that one. Yay. What does Venus call her subscribers, and do you know why? This is a huge answer. This is more chit chat. But you like the lore stuff, so here you're going to get it. Yay! Next time I'll remember to link everything. So many things have been going on today. You kind of touched on this earlier. You are an Msoul. And I'll give you that point. Okay, you don't have to worry about all this. I'll just read to you. I'll stand in the middle looking lovely with my knife. All right, I'm going to read this to you because this is just too much reading, right? Yes, so Msoul is short for my precious mortal soul. I'm precious for a reason. I say mortal because I equate our soul to our personality. In ancient Rome, the sensibility was that humans can meet two deaths. The first is your body, the second of your soul. And one could leave before the other, like dementia versus heart attack. Okay? So, to live a good life in accordance with the ancient worldview or religions of the time, you must pick a pious path to reach heaven with your soul. In sharing your first kiss, your soul enters the other's body, and so often it was saved for the wedding ceremony so that you could ensure your partner, who's now the vessel carrying your soul, does right in the mortal world to ensure that your soul goes to heaven when their body dies. You want to go to paradise. So you have to like take care of each other in this life. And that's why they want you to wait for marriage. Okay? Anyways, and so releasing your souls to the next life. This is part of why we do not sell our souls or seek redemption or contrition. Certain religions, like you go and tell your sins and they absolve you and tell you to pray so many times of things to make it right. And so to know our souls have a chance to live on eternally. So you don't want your soul to die first. You want to know it's going to go on, right? For the unlucky, their soul dies or goes to Hades and you lose yourself forever. And I feel our personalities have a one go around on this earth in this form as we know ourselves right now. So we've got to make the most of it. And I hope the very best for all of us to enjoy as much as we can our time here together now. Because it's the only time here together now in this form, in this way, in this personality, etc. So because even if we translate and believe in ascension or reincarnation, that who we know ourselves to be will alter in the changing state to become one with or something else. So our personalities we have right now, who we know ourselves to be, are mortal just as our bodies. And so I wish us all the very best right now and hope we don't give up on ourselves. I hope we don't exit ourselves. I hope we choose to be brave and keep going and be as strong as we can be so we can be present in our mind and body for when things start to go right and get better or even better. Because if we can outlast, like in Survivors, it's going to be okay. We're going to get there. We deserve the best, and you have to believe in that to get you there. And how you hold on is other people have got to also step in and remind you you're worth something. Yeah. And I want you to hang in there. I want to help you hang in there so you can have it and know it and enjoy it as long as we can. And that's my wish for all of us. And we can do like the work toward that right now. And I want to help. And I know how hard it is when you feel alone. And I'm there. And you can have like obstacles to face. And if no one else remembers to stop and remember that you're precious, that you're valuable, that you're unique, and you deserve good things to happen, and I want to step in and say I'm going to do that for you. And you know, I'm a flawed person too, but in the videos that I make, I'm really trying to support all of this what I just said. Yeah. Yeah. I studied ancient stuff. It's fascinating to me how people thought. What guided them and the choices they made to survive. Also, I'm fascinated with that world because for so many reasons, but they didn't have electricity. And yet they invented all sorts of really cool things. And to know what they were thinking, to know what humans were thinking and wishing for and hoping for. You know, I feel like their last breath is our first breath, like this air that keeps going around. I actually looked it up once and I found out air, if it did go in a straight line with the rotation of the earth, would take 2 to 3 years to get back to the spot it was breathed out from. You could breathe it in again. And then, you know, there's radio waves. Something's carrying in the wind, you know? So this was Venus Game Na! And if you liked it, and you want to suggest any, like, themes for questions, or we play another version of it, we can do that. If you want to submit questions and I just don't tell people, and next time I'll make sure I double check the spelling and linking of everything. Dang it. But it was my first try. Thank you for playing it out with me. I'm so excited. Plus I love my dress. I had a reason to wear a nice dress today. And yeah, you're so very welcome. Thank you for playing with me. I know you said you were maybe going to be crunched for time, but that you were going to pop in, and I'm so glad that you did. Because this was fun for me. And I hope you liked it. I hope it was fun and interesting. I think it was. Also for me to think it out. Like, there really was purpose when I picked what I was going to do. Surprise! Yeah. Anyways. So that is the conclusion of our very first edition of Venus Game Na! Thank you so much. And now that I have this, like, framework, I can easily copy it and just change out the words. I can type really fast. But yeah, if you want in the comments at a later time, if you want to pick your own like subjects or topics, like themes for the questions, and I'll switch them out. Or I can keep these themes. I'm going to make one more version keeping these themes and keep it in the back drawer. You know what? I think that this month we've been pretty creative. And there's still more. There's still more coming. More new things. I was trying to do the Alex Trebek version of this, or like the Family Feud version, but this was the first one, like the easiest one for me to put together. I guess I forgot that I hadn't finished it. I got distracted. But I'm so glad we tried it out. Yay! I'm going to do this. Boom! I'm just going to come out here with my beautiful dress. Maybe I should get closer. Ding, 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 ding. I'll just do this. Hello. Never mind that little dagger of mine. I love that. I put a ring on. Usually I wear these fancy rings on my fingers when I'm a vampire. I haven't done myself into a mythological creature much this year. I was a mermaid doing cooking shows under the sea last summer. Maybe I'll do something in August. I was going to make myself like a Sagittarian in August. But then I only did one thing, and I was reading a Spanish poem. Ooh, do you like hearing other languages? Because I can pull up other. It was something in the public domain. I thought I could do it. But yeah, I'm so glad we played a game. I like to keep it different. I like to shake it up, not be boring. And I am working on the story of Finch's adventure, the fan fiction from Dr. Frederick. I just sent him an email today. I think I mentioned that earlier. I sent him that email, and yeah. I'm working on it. I got it illustrated. That's what's taking me so long. I was messing around with different free AI programs, and I was not getting what I wanted out of it. So I'm going to do things in an alternative way. Maybe I'll take a page out of From Hell and High Water, the romance novels online, the e-novels, and just do visuals of like background sceneries just to have something of movement and sound effect while I narrate it. But I'm setting it up right now. I've divided it up into pages, and I just want to check with him if he's okay with that. And then there's going to be a choose your own adventure based on it if he says yes. But I'll work on that later. But yeah. Well, I hope you found this fun, informative. I did too. It was fun for me to share. And ooh, I'm in a dress. Yay. All right. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to talk about tonight, or do you need to head out? Are you heading out now? It's looking like the Wi-Fi is dropping and coming back in. I hope you're still there. But yeah, I was just wondering if you needed to head out now. I know you said that you had other things you had to do as well tonight. And so I want to thank everybody who's popped in and out today, because there's been a few people watching. I hope you had fun watching the show too. Learning a little more about me and all my subscribers, our community here. All right, have a great night. Thank you for playing with me, Fenro Sabros. Have sweet dreams. Don't forget to hydrate. Oh, I'm all out of water. So I'll just tip my glass to your health and mine. Have a great night. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Have a good night, everybody. This is Venus.